Hi everyone, this is a beautiful Thursday morning, and how else could I spend this day better than talking smack about my ex to random strangers on the internet? Yay! I have made a list of 9 red flags I ignored at the beginning of the relationship that I wish I did not ignore. The point of this video is me trying to help anybody who's in the talking stage or beginning of dating or already dating or just thinking about dating or anybody, anything to do with dating, especially girls, but I guess boys too. Listen up, because if you see any of these red flags, do not ignore them the way I did. Okay, let's get to it, shall we? First, he is in love with his mother. This could surprise you at first and sound like I don't really mean it how it sounds. So the thing was, on our first date, he told me that I asked, and then he told me he has a very good relationship with his parents. Green flag, right? Yes. But later I found out that he's not just close with his parents. They have a weird family dynamic, which is going to be my second point. So let's stick to the first one. I'm not kidding. The guy was legit in love with his mother. He called his mother every single day. Every single day. Like, I'm in bed with this man, laying next to him, all like lotioned up and you know what I mean? Like, I'm girling. And this guy, 10 p.m., next to me, instead of focusing on me, he phones his mother every single day. Every single day. And the wildest was when he asked me to cut my hair short because he likes short hair. And you guessed it, just like his mother has short hair. Fucking weird. Weird. Don't. If you meet a guy, if you start dating or start talking to a guy and he has a good relationship with his parents, great, green flag. But if they are talking every day and they are not working together, they are not, I don't know, he's not like helping out to raise his little brothers or whatever, or chopping wood or whatever. He's not like helping out. They just talk every day. And this brings us to my second point, which is his family dynamics. I actually have a list here. So his family dynamics. On these phone calls, every single day, 10 p.m., they talked about nothing but what he ate, what the parents ate, what they are going to eat, what they didn't eat, what they wanted to eat instead, and what he did at work. That's it. And every time I was at his family's place, because one Christmas that we've been together, we spent 4 days there. 4 days at his parents' house. And mind you, his parents has not asked me a single question about me, myself, or my life, or how we met, or anything. They did not ask me a single question in 4 days. Or actually, we've been together for 1.5 years, and the parents failed to ask me a single question in that 1.5 years. But what makes his family dynamic really fucked up is that they talk every day. So you would assume they are close to each other, but they are close to each other in a distant way. They have very surface level conversation that never goes deep. They never talk about feelings, thoughts, ideas, nothing like that. All they talk about is food and work and maybe like house chores, nothing else. Weird. If you see that, girl, run. Because guess what? The family dynamic he comes from, unless he worked a lot on himself, which, by the way, I think he was trying to do, but failing miserably, which is pretty fucking sad. But, like, when you date somebody, they're gonna bring you into their family dynamic. If you're gonna get married, you're gonna join their family. You're gonna become one family. So you're not only dating the person, you're also dating their family dynamics and their fucking family. And when we broke up, it felt like it's not us breaking up, it's me and his mother breaking up, which is fucking weird. Okay, I don't know if is that okay to say? Excuse my language if that wasn't okay. So my third point is his ex. Yes, his ex. Always ask about the ex. What I didn't even need to ask about his ex. The first time I met him, they were still together, which I did not know because he didn't only hit on me, he also asked me out and he also tried to kiss me. So I assumed he was single. He wasn't. And then we started to talk to each other. And I after a point, I started to wonder, like, why isn't he asking me out? Like, what's happening? And then I asked, like, you should ask me out. Like, what the fuck? And then he admits that he has had a girlfriend for like 3 or 5 years, which is like, how are you gonna date somebody for 5 years and not get married? Oh, excuse my roommate in the background. How are you gonna date somebody for 5 years and not get married? You know what I mean? Like that's another fucking red flag. Like that's weird. That's weird. Like we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. No, not on my watch. And I'm here to teach you how not to do that. Okay, just buckle up. So he hit on me while he was with his ex. He proceeded to try and cheat on his ex with me without telling me about his ex. And then we kept talking. He kept talking to me. And then at one point he sent me this big message that talking to me made him realize how much he's missing out on, in life. And he decided to break up with his girlfriend. And he told me, please, don't feel guilty or anything. And I was like, okay, I guess. I'm happy I helped. But at that point, it was already weird and confusing because, And later, when we were in the relationship, like 1 year in the relationship, his ex messaged me. And she hit me up and she's like, hey, your boyfriend's ex, and I just got diagnosed with some whatever strain of HPV, and I assume it's from your boyfriend, so you should go get checked out. Which I did. I spent a shit ton of money just to get checked out for everything. Turns out it's total bullshit. I was clean, it was clean, everybody was clean. We never found out if she was actually sick or just lying. But point is, it's weird. It's weird. If you have some weird, crazy ex that's recent, because you're allowed to have bad relationships like under the age of 21, 22. But by the time you're mid-20s, and he was late 20s, by the way. Oh my God, so embarrassing. So I just feel like above the age of 20-something, it's not an excuse like, oh, my ex was crazy, this person is crazy, that person is crazy. Like, no. You associated yourself with that person for 5 years. How are you going to tell me they are crazy and there's nothing wrong with you? And, also, always when a man tells you a girl was crazy or the girl did this or the girl reacted that way, always think, what did he put her through to make her that way? Fourth point, his financials. We barely even started to date and he proceeded to ask me for money. Not a small amount of money, big money, which to this day, we've been apart for a year now. To this day, he has not paid me back. And, it's okay as a man, as a woman, doesn't matter. It's okay to struggle sometimes. It's okay to have ups and downs. It's okay to have bad financial situations sometimes. And it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to help out your loved ones, which I thought I was doing, right? But here's the trick. Here's where the interesting part comes in. So he asks me for money because of his financials. Great. But he had this whole company and he had this whole Instagram thing, brand communication or whatever. So on the internet and to every single person, he was selling this idea of himself being such a leader, a CEO. I mean, he was a CEO, but not a successful one, since I, a younger female, had to financially help him out because he was making mistakes in his business. And the biggest red flag in this is how he pretended to be something he's not in front of every fucking body. In front of every person, he pretended to be something he was not, you know. So that's a gigantic red flag I wish I did not ignore. 5. His attachment style. You guessed it, he was a dismissive avoidant, and we're not shitting on anybody with any attachment style, okay? It's one thing to come from a family of avoidance, which I can confirm he did come from a family of avoidance, as avoidance as it gets, okay? That's not his fault. He didn't choose to be born there. He didn't choose those family dynamics, right? But he woke up every day in the past 30 years since then and decided to try the same things and expect different results, which is in itself a gigantic red flag. It's okay to get hurt in life. It's okay to have trauma. It's okay, like things happen, but you're an adult. It's your responsibility what you do with it. It's your responsibility how you handle it. And it's your responsibility not to take it out on others. And you guessed it, he was taking it all out on me because, I'm not an avoidant. Okay, maybe I am a little bit. But you can be the most secure person in the world. A dismissive avoidant will turn you anxious as hell. You're dating and first you start noticing that he doesn't kiss you the way he did before. He doesn't initiate anything. He doesn't touch you. He doesn't look at you. He doesn't do anything. He's just talk. Oh, we're gonna get married. Oh, you're gonna be the mother of my child. Talk, but isn't followed up with any action. And now I want to mention a red flag, which is beyond red flag, but it didn't get on my cute list, so I'm just gonna have to improvise. So he didn't want to touch me, ever. Number 6, he was manipulative and lying to other people. And I recall this very specific time. I was at his place and he just had some business negotiations. And then he proceeded to call his mother, of course. And it wasn't even 10 p.m. So he calls his mother and he's proudly telling her on the phone how he just lied to this business associate and how he did damage control, and basically he was proudly telling his mama how he lied and manipulated a bunch of people to his own benefit. And then I approached him and I told him that's a bit scary that you're so proud of being manipulative and lying and whatever. And guess what, I was the bad guy for calling him manipulative or whatever, because that's not what happened. I heard the whole thing. I was there. I watched. Don't gaslight me. If your date is lying and manipulating other people, he's gonna do the same to you. I don't care what he says. I don't care how lovely he acts. Because you guessed it, this man acted really lovely at the beginning of our relationships. Other than these red flags. Number 7, his female friends. I'm all about platonic friendships, right? I am a big fan of male-female friendships, okay? But what I'm not okay with, and you shouldn't be okay with him having female friends that he dated, slept with, or kissed, or in any way, shape, or form was romantically or sexually involved with. That's not okay, because that's an ex. That's not a friend, that's an ex. And at the very beginning of our relationship, there was this moment that, like I told him about my male friends who are really important to me. And, the first thing I did was introduce them to each other, make sure that everybody's comfortable with everybody, no misunderstandings, no shady stuff. All my friends wanted to meet him and see him, which will be important in my next point, so pay attention. Because, that's how if your genuine friend gets a partner, then you will want to meet the partner. Then you're going to be curious. You will want to make friends with the partner too, right? That's how it normally goes. That's how it's okay. Well, I recall this exact moment that he tells me, he looked me in the eye and he said, I have mostly female friends, right? And I'm like, okay, in itself, that's not too bad, right? But then he proceeds, then he says, I have mostly female friends. All of them are hot, and all of them I shared at least a kiss with. Which is when I should have gotten up and left, and then I would have spared myself a heartbreak, 1.5 years, and an insane amount of money. But I was like, I guess that's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. I am unwilling to date anyone ever who has friends that he's been involved with. And next point, that specific female friend. So like I said, if your friend gets a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you want to meet them, right? Because you're curious and because you're genuinely friends. Well, he had this specific female friend. Obviously, we're not gonna name anybody. They would deserve to be named, but spoiler alert, he ends up cheating on me with her. So first, he tells me about this girl that, she helped him out so much and they are really good friends and whatever. And later, it turns out that they met dating. They were dating, and I quote his words, "The spark wasn't there, so we ended up friends." And I'm like, okay, that still can be genuine, when can I meet her? Like, I'm all excited. Like, if they are such good friends, and I'm sure I will be such good friends with her. Bitch, not at all. The girl did not give a flying F about me. I only met her once, and I had to invite myself because he was like, I'm gonna go grab a coffee with this girl. And I was like, oh, great, she's here, can I come? Right. They both were weird and shady, especially the female. And, I kind of like swept it under the rug. I was like, I'm just being jealous, I'm just being insecure, because he kept telling me that I'm just being jealous and I'm just being insecure, which was, there's a big difference in being insecure and having a gut feeling about red flags. Do not ever let a man tell you that you're just being jealous or you're just being insecure when they actually are up to shady things. I'm just really trying to not say bad words, okay? Keep it family friendly for YouTube. I'm gonna have to edit that. So obviously he ends up cheating on me with this girl, which to this day he denies. It's not like we talk, but he never admitted. But the story about that was, this girl lived in another country, which was supposed to assure me, right? No, it didn't. And they kept meeting, by the way, and I was magically never invited or anything like that. And it was just weird to me how she's not curious at all about me, and how they are so good friends that they meet so much and they spend so much time together, but somehow I'm like not part of it, not even for a second. That was weird. Turns out I was right. It's weird. And it all ended up. This is when we broke up, right? So he tells me that he's gonna go to his family's place on the countryside because the parents are away and he needs to go feed the animals. I'm like, okay. He didn't invite me to go with him, which felt bad, but, I'm still like, okay, do your thing, I'm doing my thing. And then before leaving, he says that, oh, by the way, the girl from the other country, she just happens to be here. And she happens to go from the same city to the same direction at the exact same time. So I'm gonna just give her a ride, but we're not gonna spend the weekend together. And, oh, my roommate again, ignore him. So he says we're not gonna spend the weekend together. And I'm like, okay, you do realize how that looks very, very shady. Like, please watch out. This feels super bad. I have a really bad feeling about this. Please, like, if he swore that it's innocent. And I'm like, okay, if you swear that it's innocent, I have no choice but to believe you. But please promise me that you're gonna watch out. You're not gonna let her, like, hit on you and stuff in case that happens, just for my sense of calmness. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. All right, the weekend passes and they are coming back from the same direction to the same place with the same car. He calls my phone, or I called him, I don't know. We spoke on the phone. He tells me I'm gonna be home in 2 hours. I'm like, okay, great. Waiting for you, miss you, whatever. 4 hours later, he's still not there, so I call him. He says, oh, I just stopped to get chocolate and flowers for you. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, like, for 2 hours? Right, I guess those have to be, like, flowers you picked yourself, which I would appreciate more, but whatever. I will be home in a second. Okay, another whatever hour goes by, so I get suspicious and I check his location. And he's at the girl's house. And the location pin didn't pin him on the street. It pinned him in the house. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's just saying bye right now. It's cool. So I check again a little bit later. And he's still there. And I'm like, okay, maybe he helped her bring her bags in or something, right? So I give it like another 15 minutes and I check his location again and he's still at the girl's house. Which is when I hit him up like, okay, don't bring me flowers. I can see that you're at the girl's place. Just leave me alone. Like, this is super not cool. I can see where you at. I don't want nothing from you, right? So he comes home like 30 minutes later with chocolate that I hate and Lego flowers, which could have been cute if I was into it, but I'm not. And mind you, at this point, we've been together longer than a year. And he got me the exact things I don't like with another girl. And then he comes home and proceeds to tell me what shit of a person I am. And this is no way of behaving with somebody we love. Excuse me? So, oh, by the way, and it was my birthday. So I got broken up with on my own birthday after I caught him cheating. That's the best reason not to ignore the red flags. This is why you don't ignore the red flags, because you will end up being broken up with on your birthday and cheated on by somebody who doesn't even have hair shorter than you and looks like a labubu. I hope he saw this. Number 9, and this is the last point, I guess. His problems with his first time we tried to merge, it didn't work. The little soldier did not want to stand up. Soldier was sleeping. It's like, okay, performance anxiety, happened a few times, I guess. That's cool. Second time, same thing. Third time, same thing. 5, 6, first 10 times, same thing. Is dysfunctional. It's not you, girly. It's not performance anxiety. It's not, oh, it will get better as we get closer. It gets worse as you get closer. As we got closer, it got worse. So the first, 15 times it didn't work at all. And then we had like a few months that it was great. It worked. Everything was great. And then as we got together, like as we got closer to each other, because he's a dismissive avoidant, he needed to create distance between us. And he did that with withdrawing physically. 3 months in a relationship, 3 months went by without him touching me in any way, shape, or form. And I was supposed to stay loyal, which I did again. Stupido. And he didn't even touch me one fucking time in 3 months. That was the longest we went without any kind of merging. 3 months. Which is, I think it's insane. I think, especially for a man, that's insane. That's insane. That's insane. If doesn't work, doesn't work. It's not you, it's him. Leave, get up and leave. Leave that man. Leave that la boo boo. Not good for anything. Can't even provide you with... Nope. Should have been out. Should have been out the first, first time, okay, you get an excuse. Second time, maybe if you have a really good excuse. But third time it doesn't work, out. 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 Let him go back to his mama. They are in love anyways. Let him go back to his female friends. They just friends with, but they dated, but they did this, they did that, they merged. Let him go back. Let the girls have them. I wish I could get that time back. I wish I could get that money back. I wish I could get that innocence in my soul back. So with that, I would like to conclude this video. Our conclusion for today in this beautiful Thursday, or whatever day you're watching this on, is do not ignore red flags. Red flags can be subtle. Don't ignore them. Don't believe his lies, basically. Right. I'm not wearing any makeup, not even my hair done. I'm in my pajamas just to make everybody feel, welcome. And we're all inclusive here. We're not judging. And you're gonna hear some noises in the background. That's my roommate. You're gonna spot him a few times. I'm sorry. This was the best I could do right now. Like and subscribe and leave comments if you want me to upscale